welcome back to the channel and welcome to a hotel room in Singapore. Not my usual surroundings, but yeah, I've just got here. It's 9:30 in the morning. I've just flown in from London. I'm only here for today. I'm going home again in the morning, but I'm here because Porsche has invited me to the global reveal of its new Macan. Now that might not sound like such a big deal. It's just another, mid-size SUV, but this one's different because it's all electric. Porsche has gone from the original Macan, the first generation Macan with engines, to the second generation Macan, which is going to be all electric. So it's pretty cool, it's pretty exciting. It's only Porsche's second electric car, of course, after the Taycan. So really keen to see what the company has learnt, because Taycan's been around for, 5 years now, and is actually due an update very soon. So interesting to see what the company's learned and how it's applied that to the Macan. I've not been to Singapore before, and I'm only here for today, so I'm not going to see much of it. But the view from my hotel room is spectacular. I'll show you that in a second. 25 floors up with a view of, all sorts, actually. I can see a little bit of the Grand Prix circuit just around the corner. Anyway, not here for that, here for the Porsche. Looking forward to it. I'm the only UK media here, which is a little bit strange. I don't know quite how big the event is going to be, but it is a global reveal, so it should be quite a bit of fun. Got a couple of interviews and things to do today, and then a little bit of downtime, and then the event this evening. So I'll catch up with you a little bit later. As well as a sneak peek of the new Macans ahead of the big reveal later in the day, I also had a chance to go and visit the new Porsche Studio Singapore. This is more of a Porsche-branded coffee shop than a studio, and it's sort of a place where you can go and hang out with Porsche fans, I suppose. There's a shop where you can buy merchandise and model cars and clothing that Porsche say is exclusive to that location. I was really tempted to buy a hoodie, but at around £150 I thought better of it. They've also got a couple of cars in there. There was a 356 and there was a multicoloured 911 to show what colours are available, and also a room where you could actually go and specify a car. There's a couple of meeting rooms as well, and sort of places to work while you're having your Porsche coffee, and the whole place felt pretty cool. I'd like to see more of these studios pop up in other cities. After a few hours to battle my jet lag, it was time for the main event, and perhaps a reminder of why companies shouldn't hold outdoor events in Singapore at this time of year. What I'm trying to say, it was raining quite a bit. We arrived at the Gardens by the Bay in Singapore, the famous gardens, and we were handed ponchos and umbrellas. But thankfully there was a bar area that was undercover, and the rain eventually stopped, and it's still like 25 or 30 degrees centigrade, so it's all perfectly pleasant. It was a spectacular view with the big hotel in the background, the artificial trees all lit up in bright colours, and the cars themselves in a purpose-built structure that's going to be available for the public to view as part of Singapore Art Week. It was all a pretty nice event, but it was incredibly busy, so I didn't try to shoot too much video and certainly no audio on the night. Instead, I was able to get there first thing in the morning the next day, and I had the cars to myself. Well, hello, you joined me the morning after the night before. God, it really was busy here last night, so I thought instead of trying to do anything to camera, I would wait until this morning, and that's worked out really well because the cars are here, still being prepped ahead of being made available to the public, or opened to the public rather, and yeah, it's a warm and humid morning, as it always is in Singapore in January, but I'm glad I've made the effort to get up early, get across the gardens here at the bay, and have a closer look at the cars. So you may have already seen there are two versions of Macan that are going to be launched initially. There's the Macan 4, which is a little bit further back, and the Macan Turbo, which is the one just here over my shoulder. Obviously the 4 is the entry-level car and the Turbo is the flagship, and you can imagine that there will be several more to fit between those two, and maybe a Turbo S or a GTS or something else coming a little bit later. Both cars have a 95 kilowatt hour battery pack, and they both have an 800 volt system, so like the Taycan. Most cars are 400 volts, these ones are 800. It means they can charge quicker because the higher voltage means lower temperature when charging, I think. I can never quite remember how that works. But what's also clever about the Macan is at 800 volts it can charge at 270 kilowatts, obviously if you plug it into a fast enough charger. If you plug it into a slower charger and into a 400 volt charger, what the car does, there's a high voltage switch that gets flicked, and it basically turns the battery into two 400 volt batteries, and it can charge them in parallel at up to 135 kilowatts. So pretty clever. I've not seen that before in any other car. Quite like it. So the Macan Turbo is 631 horsepower, that's 470 kilowatts. I should say as well, both cars are dual motor, so they're all-wheel drive. So yeah, 631 horsepower from the Turbo, 1,130 newton meters of torque, that's 833 foot-pounds in old speak, 0 to 62 in 3.3 seconds. You know, it's an electric car with 600 horsepower, of course it's going to be quick off the line. Top speed 161 miles per hour, and it's going to be priced from £95,000 in the UK. Over with the Macan 4 now, and as you can see there are a few differences. The front end is just a little bit softer, a little bit more rounded than the sharper, sportier Turbo. As far as the specs go, it's the same 95 kilowatt hour battery, the same 800 volt system, but just a little bit less powerful. For the Macan 4 we've got 403 horsepower, 650 newton meters of torque, that's 470 foot-pounds in old money, 0 to 62 time of 5.2 seconds, so still pretty quick, you know, as quick as you need a mid-size SUV to be, as quick as you need any sort of family car to be, really. Top speed 137 miles per hour, and prices in the UK start from £69,800. I think you can order now, or at least you can certainly go and speak to your dealer about these cars now, and Porsche say that the first deliveries will begin in the second half of 2024. A couple of interesting hardware features on the outside of these cars, and they're to do with sort of tapping and swiping and just sort of generally fondling the bodywork. Didn't expect I'd be saying that at 8:30 in the morning. Anyway, these cars aren't fully switched on, so I can't demonstrate, but you sort of tap or swipe at the flap here to open the charge port, which is fine, I guess. The Taycan has that similar thing, doesn't it, where there's like that ledge that you sort of swipe your finger under, but continuing that trend with these cars is how the frunk opens. There's an 80-some litre frunk in these cars, which is great. It means you can put stuff in the front. And to open that, you sort of swipe here. Now, I've got a video of a guy doing this, or trying to do this, and getting it wrong a couple of times yesterday. You kind of swipe it with the back of your hand. it didn't seem that reliable. I'm sure that could be fixed with software, but it didn't seem very reliable. And also, it's the front of your car, right? It's going to get dirty, especially this time of year, and you know, in markets like the UK and Germany where the roads are disgusting. I don't want to be swiping at the front of my car. Thankfully, you can open it with the key fob or with button inside, you know, the old-fashioned way. That's about it, I think. It's a very humid day, so I do apologise for my appearance, but I just wanted to give you a closer look at the two cars while there's no one around. It's quite a privilege actually to be able to do this. Thank you for watching. I didn't really know what this video was going to be. I knew it would be kind of newsworthy with the launch or the reveal of a new car, but I didn't really know how much access I would get and how long I would be here for. I have been here just one night. I'm going home in a couple of hours. It's been manic, but a lot of fun. Really nice to come to Singapore. I've never been before. It's good to get to explore the gardens here at the bay, and of course to see two new electric Porsches. Obviously they're going to sell well. They're not cheap, they're more expensive than the outgoing Macan, but yeah, I think they look pretty good. I think the specs are good as long as they can deliver on the range that Porsche claims they can. That's up to 381 miles for the Macan 4 and I think 360 something for the Turbo. Obviously real world mileage is going to be a bit lower than that, but if they can get to, what, 275, 280 real world, I think most people would be happy with that, especially with the fast charging. I think Porsche said that if you plug into a quick enough charger that can deliver that 270 kilowatts, then the battery will charge from 10 to 80% in, I think, about 20 minutes, 20 to 25 minutes, which is quick enough, isn't it? You know, you go to the loo, get a drink, whatever, by then it's about time to go again if you're, you know, doing a long road trip. Anyway, that really is it. Thank you very much for watching. If you've liked this, please do click like. If you've really liked it, maybe click subscribe as well, and I'll see you on the next one.